Alright. Hello, everybody. Trying to do another recording of Conquest of the Longbow with our good friend Robin Hood here. So, without further ado, let us see. On my way, and I have no need to carry that small but heavy chest around. Okay. Let's head on out. Let's head on out. Huh, looks like they're already gone. Blah, 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 blah. Stumps are chairs. The boulders are slightly less comfortable to sit on than the stumps. More 9 and 7 stone. A good clear water for our camp. No need for water right now. Alright, as is our typical fashion, we start off the day by going to the overlook. Actually no, we're gonna reload because I want to go to the widow's house first. And I don't want to risk going to the overlook and then leaving and then going back as having failed something. The new strain in the widow's face, I fear she worries about her sons. Begging your pardon, Robin, but I best keep my mind on what I'm doing. Time someone asked me opinion, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I had a feeling. Alright, now we can do this. Expect beggar lurches his way down wall. Very morning to you. Where are you bound? In Nottingham, I hear. Prosperous and a beggar must follow the clink of goings, eh? Give you a bit of charity for a wretched humpback, sir? I've known some beggars whose purses were heavier than mine. Alas, sir, not I. That's why I travel to Nottingham in hopes of changing my poor luck. And if I demand a toll of you to pass along the road, then I must turn back the way I came. If I have no food or water, and would suffer greatly. Come, I'm poor pickings for a old man such as you. Let me on my way. You're not a small man. Your clothes would fit me well enough. My rags? When you have that fine suit of Lincoln green? Ah, you make a jest of my lot, sir. Not at all. Who takes notice of a beggar, eh? You come and go as you please. Sir, most of the time. Aye, so the rags can cover many secrets. That's what I'm thinking. Sir, I'm but a humble beggar. Whatever you be thinking is above my wretched head. I'm thinking that you'll give me those rags you wear. Aye, even down to that false hump upon your back. But they're all I have. How could I earn a living? What would I wear? Yes, far too much from one with far too little. Do I? Much obliged, sir, much obliged. May the Lord grant you a high seat in heaven. Not so quickly, my friend. For my prize, I want you to give me those clothes you wear. What? You truly want these old rags? But what earthly use? Worry not about my reasons. Will you be content with that money, with an extra purse, and a new set of clothes besides? Sir, I would be more than content. For such a bargain, you may have rags, hump and all. I'll even teach you a few tricks. No need, friend beggar. I have enough tricks of my own. Men give the jolly fellow a new set of clothes and a purse of pennies, enough to see him well on his way back north. Ah, north? North. Oh, of course, north, as you say. Cheer up, my friend. I'll not set you on the road without comfort. Tuck, you'll blindfold him and lead him to our camp where he may find food, where he may have food and water for his journey. Will, you're to take my own garb and weapons and put them into my cave. And now, friend Bigger, let us change clothes. Faith, you make a fine beggar, Robin. As twisted and wretched as ever I've seen. Thank ye kindly. See that our friend here receives all he was promised. I'll see to it. Happy begging, master. What a piteous beggar I make. Let's see what happens when we go here. Dirty man, across the breath, or full beggar. Of course, you poor thing, you wait here now. Hold, good woman, it would seem my disguise surpasses my hopes. Why, who on earth? None other than Robin Hood. Robin, by the blessed lady, look at you. What a sorry sight you are. All to the good, if I'm to visit Nottingham. Well, I should say so. I shan't worry. I dare say your own mother wouldn't have known you. Let's try to go to the pub. There's been nowhere good ale is to be found. Doors are cold and hard packed after centuries of use. The bucket, lowered on a rope to a hole in the sandstone roof. Innkeeper, what's the meaning of the lowered bucket? Soldiers lower it from the castle walls with money in it, and I fill it with ale, with which they haul back up. Fire barely warms these cool rooms. Not a cask. Tables are roughly made. Someone's left a mug of half-drunk ale. Those are the feet of a man who is beyond drunk, a man who may never again be sober. A true ale knight, deep in his cups. The mug belongs to this drunken fellow, I wager. Heavy iron door bars the way into the beer cellar. Lantern night is dim, but welcome. The rough-hewn stool. Another cask. He has casks and bottles behind the bar. A 9 men's Morris game is carved into the top of this table. There's a stern face and a gruff manner. Have you no charity in your heart? God damn it, I hit the wrong button. Gone. Aye, for those who deserve it. This man is looking an experienced fighter. I must be cautious. Castle is massive, built in Norman fashion. From swimming courtyard the main buildings through the main gate. Charity, good sir, charity for the wretched and afflicted. I'll show you afflicted. Ow! Ebba has installed most impressive new doors to the entrance of the abbey. Ebba has labored long to build this grandiose facade for his abbey. Or rather, he has made many a poor peasant labor for him upon pain of excommunication, and he's well known for cheating the stonemasons and craftsmen. I guess really these thick pines are meant to keep out the unwelcome visitors and to hide from casual view the unfinished condition of the rest of the abbey. The place cannot mask the malodorous vapors of the privies. As the saying goes, even Abbot must lift his robes and squat like a peasant. It's been a holy site for centuries, and this is but the latest church to be built here, but the abbot has far to go to complete the construction of this monument of self-pride. Sometimes I long to have a cottage such as these and live a simple life, tending my sheep, raising my crops, paying my taxes. But thankfully, such ridiculous notions are quick to pass. Have you charity for a poor old beggar, a dry crust of bread, a bowl of soup? There's nothing for you here. Be on your way. God damn it. Cat. Are you going to feed me? Well, who needs you then? Bugger off. Looking for the bits of thread, needles stuck through her apron. I would say this woman is a tailor. They are ordinary peasants' huts thatched with straw. Door is closed. Shop is open. I can glimpse a workbench and leather tools within. See nothing of interest. Why, don't you come to me unless you got money for a new suit of clothes in them rags. People you've been past so many finds, clothes is gone, and not but the patches is left. How may I help you? This is quite old and battered, but quite sound. A very humble craftsman's hut. With the boots and shoes of his customers. But it has various oils and salves for use in his leather work. The window is handy for customers, of course I need to be careful in what I do. Like his cloak. These are tools of the cobbler's trade. And as any fool can plainly see. I must decide if I can trust this cobbler. This like an honest fellow, if this can be trusted. Don't be fooled by this disguise. I'm Robert Hood. I've come as you asked. Are you addled, beggar? But I am Robert Hood. You sent for me. Poor man, what a strange illusion affects you. A fine slipper. You, given this? Indeed, by a vision of beauty named Marion. Never speak her name aloud here. Call her only the lady, if you must mention her at all. Please come with me. Forgive my caution, but the sheriff has spies everywhere, and I need to be sure of you. So you are the infamous Robin Hood, none other. Your disguise is, interesting. Serves its purpose, but the sooner I'm rid of it, the better. I've risked much to come here, Lob. Your pardon, I'll speak swiftly and to the point. Though you're known as an outlaw, it is also said that you swear fealty to King Richard. As God is my witness, I am the king's loyal and devoted servant. I was unjustly outlawed through treachery. Those who abuse their high offices with corruption and greed are my enemies, not Richard the Lionheart. But what of the king? Have you news? Is he free yet? That, alas, is why I've called for you. Good Queen Eleanor labors to raise 100,000 gold marks, that is the ransom fee, but has yet been unable to raise the full amount. Prince John employs all means of political betrayal, bribery, and outright theft to see that his brother is never released. Shrivel his black stole, or rather shrivel. Aye, the prince conspires with the sheriff and abbot of Nottingham, which he has diverted away from the queen and into his own pocket. His treasure will be sent from York, which means it must travel here along Watling Street. If it could be captured by the Virgin, it shall not leave Sherwood Forest except to be delivered to the queen. As I hoped. You may be the only man in all of England who can bring about the king's release. When will this treasure be sent, and how come you know so much of these matters? I am but a humble servant of the queen, as is the Lady Marian. So Lady Marian is, well, I shall leave it to the lady how much you learn of her. As for the treasure, I must leave tomorrow and travel to York to learn what I can. I'll send warning of their departure date to you through Lady Marian. Then I will see more of her. Indeed you will. Here in town, she lives the role of a demure maiden, but in the forest she, well, you what? You learn what you learn. You will learn what you will learn. Take this silver comb. If you give this to her, she'll know we have spoken and that you joined us to save the king. I could do nothing else. Where does Marian live? You will never seek her out in the town. Never. It is far too dangerous for both of you. She will await you in her sacred place, the willow grove upon the river. Ah, the place of the dream. Beg pardon? Nothing. Give the queen my word. I will seize this treasure in her name, and as much other ransom as I can raise beside. Bless you, and God speed you on your mission. There's nothing more to be said now. I bid you leave Nottingham and seek out the lady as soon as possible. Bye. Doesn't mention duck soup to me. It's empty and not enter uninvited. I hurried eagerly to my camp as night fell. I had much to tell my men, but in truth, I was most eager of all to rid myself of the beggar's accursed rags and to stand straight again. Phew, the stench of those burning rags does nothing to improve my digestion. Perhaps I should have saved the beggar's garb instead of burning it, though it was falling apart already. Nay, I'm glad to see it burn. I swear, one day of wearing those tatters, I've gained 1,000 flea bites. Tell us again of this treasure. It comes down Watling Street. When? How will it be guarded? Law must learn all this and pass the information to us when the time is right. Patience, John. Our chance to serve the king will come. Nor will I count only upon this treasure. I'll gather other ransom by whatever means I can. You pursue 2 treasures, eh, master? On the morrow we may at least at last exchange more than a fleeting word with this dream wager of yours. Aye, and though I love my king, I shall not say which treasure I pursue with more eagerness. Alrighty. Save game. Save. Morning, Will. Any news? All's quiet. John might be at the Overlook. I'll be about if you need me. Alrighty. Let's head over to the cottage first. I should have imprisoned on a helpless peasant. Told I would know why this man is bound. None of your affair, but he's a poacher. Ah, I know you. You're Robin Hood. Show this bully behind me who's the true master of Sherwood Fullers. Shut up, you, or I'll kill you now and save myself a lot of trouble. Robin Hood, eh? You'll have hit me a fine word. It's your head that's in greater peril. All you outlaws are cowards. You think I'd run from the likes of you? It wouldn't take such great courage to arrest a man whose only crime is hunger. He killed one of the king's deer. The law says he must die. It's the sheriff's greed and illegal taxes he collects that drive the people to such desperate measures. What do I care? I order you to surrender yourself at once. This is what I said to your order. By the Virgin, that was masterly shooting. Hold still, pillow. I'll have you untied in the thrice. I will, believe me. What shooting! I'll never forget this day. Thank you heartily. Is it safe to return for my dear? You best not return. We know better how to smuggle such a thing close to town. Lads, this fellow's had a lucky day, saved from a poacher's fate. Will some of you now help him bring his deer to his family? Will and I will fetch the deer, Robin. The load of this other carrion. Though he scarcely deserves it, bring a shroud and bury him. It is the only Christian thing to do. Aye, he's on his way to Hades anyway. Well, leave it to us. Thank you again. I can't wait to tell my wife. One more thing. Take this money to Forestall and then a trip into the forest. Thank you, Robin Hood. Last I heard that as long as the sheriff imposes his high taxes, I'll have to keep poaching. I'll do what I can to change that. Whatever I can be of service to you, you have but to ask. So I'm delivering this man's faith with my life as an outlaw worthwhile. Broke into a run and plunged into the forest, no doubt to take a shortcut home. And go here. Bring the weapons to the sacred place. If you wish it, my lady, I will gladly lay them down. I'm most pleased to see you again. I beg you to stay longer this time. That will depend upon you, for I've yet to decide if I may fully trust you. She is the most beautiful woman I've ever beheld. It's a silver comb. But he has spoken to Lob. He wouldn't have given you this token unless you agreed to join us. Marion, I love my king as well as any little subject. I'll do everything in my power to save him and to raise as much ransom as I can. Seizing the stolen treasure that Prince John sends to the abbot will be more than enough. Of course, sweet lady, you will not begrudge me the thought of raising more, if the means presents itself. I like not that you think only of stealing. You wound me, I steal only from those corrupted curs who grow fat upon the suffering of others. Then, noble Robin, I beg your pardon and urge you to be a wolf among curs, that we may save a lion. But now I must speak more seriously. The prince suspects that we move against him. He has many spies watching the queen and those who serve her, so we must act with great caution. You know of the monks from the fens, such as the one who attacked me. Little enough, save that for that one deed alone, they've earned my hatred. They're hand-picked men who served Prince John. Each was a soldier. John had bidden them to form a monastic order to cover their true dealings in his behalf. Already they've stolen an object that is vital to my plans. Must have it back before we can make another move. What is it? A simple scroll upon which is drawn the outline of a hand. This is of such import that we must have it? I wouldn't ask it otherwise. Then I'll fetch it back for you. I cannot tell you how glad you make me, for I despaired of ever finding a way. Glad enough to reward me with a kiss? Perhaps when you've earned one. When you have the hand scroll, return here. I'll be waiting. Now you found me worthy of your trust, will you tell me more of yourself? You know I've served the queen and worked to save the king. What else matters? As beautiful you are, surely you have... There must be... I'm as tongue-tied as a young boy. Suitors, I'm not betrothed to another man. Or anyone for whom you care? You're most forward. A man must be when the prize is precious beyond measure. You've a glib tongue. I fear you may be a rake bent on nothing more than the challenge and seduction. The lady of my heart could speak, you'd know otherwise. Then find a way, Robin Hood. Blessed lady, how did you come by this? I jumped of you. You danced in a circle, within this very grove. You saw the spiral dance? When you reached the center, you vanished and left us behind. I awoke and found it clutched in my hand. You're trembling, I don't mean to frighten you. It was you! I also jumped, but I couldn't see you. I danced and felt you watching, but I wasn't afraid. I felt they were the eyes of my true love. Ever since I saw you, I hoped. You see, I also found a token when I awoke. And mine is half of a heart like yours, but made of diamond. Look! Did you create this? It can only be a gift from the Blessed Lady, the Virgin Queen of Heaven whom I serve. I'm a priestess of the ancient powers, who dance the spiral dance for the health and regeneration of the forest. Did you feel the renewing force of the emerald and diamond joined? Together they could heal any hurt. I felt it, as surely as I feel my love for you. Do you pledge yourself to me, Marion? By these tokens of love, I plight my troth to you, but the familiar of our love must wait. Before an outlaw and forest priestess can be free to marry, King Richard must return. I fear you're right. I can offer neither home nor safety unless I can win the king's pardon. Your love is all I ask. Guard the emerald. Keep it safe. This half my own heart you have in your hands. You must go now. Be most careful in dealing with the monks. I'll pray for your success. My bow and quiver lie where I left them. Supper was a ribald affair. The lads pressed me shamelessly to tell all. Well, treasure seeker, you've been uncommonly quiet upon the lady's rituals now that you fully met her. You told us of this mission you must undertake and the odd scroll she wants you to find. But of Marion herself, you say nothing. Perhaps she knows you'd wrap it up into some bit of baldy nonsense, using song and lute to torment us as indeed you do each night. Why, you pillow-nosed wretch, I could sing the angels down from the heavens, and the skirts over a wench's head. Yet for all my skill, I could not charm a maid to glance twice at you. And you, eaten with envy at my boyish looks and honeyed voice, envy of a beardless bardling who crows like a scrawny rooster? Cease, lads! If I say not of Marion, 'tis only because words fail me. She is beauty beyond poem or song. Whatever she asks, I will do. Odds blood, this sounds serious, lads. Our Robin is well and truly smitten. A toast to your mission, then, with all the rewards that success may bring. Alright, saving the game. This is where things can get a little bit dangerous. I want to make sure that my recording is properly working. If it is, alright, let's continue. Top of the morning to you. Where's Tuck? Is there no breakfast? He's gone off to visit the widow, yet again. He claims he's only interested in her wool, but I suspect he's doing a bit of wool gathering, if you know what I mean. At any rate, you're on your own. Ta! Robin, I was about to go for you. What luck that you come. What is amiss? Good woman, why do you weep so? Oh, my heart! If they hang my beautiful boys, they will burst of grief. Her sons are arrested, all three of them. Someone betrayed them to the sheriff. I swear by the Virgin Mary, I'll do all in my power to save your sons from the hangman's noose, or hangman's rope. I can read on such imagine in his eyes, I must save your sons. Pains me to see such grief. You go ahead, the widow needs my comfort for a short while yet. I cannot speak, oh my sons, my beautiful sons. We're going to save here because this will likely require a few tries. You block my way, friend. Aye, so I do. Move aside. And if I do not, since you seem determined to block my way, what is it you want? I'm not the common outlaw, I'm Robin Hood. I know of you. It would serve my master well to have you dead. Name your master. Prince John, he who deserves to rule. Raiders dog, Richard is our king. Not for long, when Prince John takes the crown, then you outlaws will know the true meaning of fear. He'll not rest until he's hunted down every last one of you and set you to dancing at the end of a rope. Not even this forest will be large enough to hide you from his wrath. That day will never come, as for all want your robe and whatever you carry upon you. By the Trinity, I'll give you nothing but the wrap of my staff upon your skull. He's hard, lean, and muscular, and he carries his quarterstaff with readiness, a dangerous adversary. Move your robe and turn over your possessions now, or I will kill you. I fear nothing but the judgment of God. I know the dishonorable death, but you're a dishonorable foe. You dare? You have a longbow and I a staff. You call this an even match? Challenge you to combat with the quarterstaff. I accept. And this is where we're going to save again. What is this? I must have a quarterstaff that is equal to your own. What is it, master? Does this monk trouble you overmuch? Little John, will you lend me your quarterstaff? This monk has challenged my honor. Gladly will I lend it to you. Fought well, but not well enough. Your frontal blow was so strong it broke his staff. Aye, that was bad luck. I'll have to make do with his robe and whatever he's carrying. Rest yourself, Robin. We'll remove the robe, and when you change, I'll take your clothes and weapons to your cave. You look the part, Robin, even without a staff. Surely you could have kept Little John's? Nay, he values it too highly. It'll be my wits that keep me alive, not a staff. Aha, then you're poorly armed indeed. This is better than not being armed at all, like you. Be off with you, rascal. That's quite well, defends monk. Gonna save the game here. Probably something to question your prisoners. I'll discuss that with the sheriff. Roger, Giles. Brought this monk to the sheriff. Have you a message from the prior? Aye, he demands that you turn the captured outlaws over to me. We'll take them to the prior for questioning. He demands? They are my prisoners. I caught them. If our prior thinks he can provide valuable information from them, you should jump to obey. Come over to me at once. Arrogant, insolent, overbearing hedge priest. I serve Prince John, not your prior. If I could choose to hang the outlaws, that is what I shall do. Get out of my sight until your priority is never to make demands of me again. Take him away. I'm mostly just doing this to see what will happen. Business here, brother? Aye, with Abbott. Very well, come with me. What can I do for you, brother? Bring greetings from the prior. He asked if you had any further instructions from Prince John. Don't speak of such things in the open. Ah, well, probably did warn me of your cowardice. He what? Brother, he said, don't expect much of the abbot. After all, he's a fat, uglesome, lazy, stupid coward, and entirely corrupt. Why that? Why he of all? I never! Oh, and known to have intimate relationship with sweet Asian or sheep. That's what he said. Most of it. Get out of my sight! Get him out! Out! It may have been a useful visit, but it was certainly a satisfying one. I love it. I love it so much. We're nearing the end of our timer. He's a tailor. You want any sewing done? I'm at your service. And know where good ill to be found. Must be said to them, the better. Let me in, Kipper. What have I done to you? I don't know you, but I know many of your order. I fought with some of you in the Crusades. Changed swords or staves and donned robes, but you're as black-hearted now as you were when you slaughtered children. It's only that particular map that I can't do it well in window mode. Grows ever thicker, it would be easy to become lost within. It was a bit well, it would take a mighty army out of long siege to overcome such a place. One gate facing to the north. Only stunted bushes and thick reeds grow near these fens. It is Finn's monk's pouch. Contains 9 gemstones. The whistle made from a marsh reed, which the Finn's monk was carrying. There is something coming through the fog. Heard your signal, brother, but I don't know your face. Have you newly joined our order? Aye, and I've been sent to serve here. Step in then and be seated. I'll take you across. Watches me suspiciously. quick little shallow draft boat pushed along by means of a pole. I've been drizzle these fins. Not so thick I can even make out the monastery through it. Everything amongst bearing warns me that you're suspicious of me. What blocks my way clear and the sound passing through the monastery. It would take a well-equipped army to place each wall such as this. Alright. Everything here can result in death, so we have to be careful. I have business aside, let me pass. You are new, brother, therefore you must prove yourself. I must have the tokens you bear for the guardian of the gate. Order of things, brother. Must have the first token before I present you this. Oh. This is the first token. I will await the rest. Look at your tokens, brother. Now you must prove your knowledge of the lore of the gemstones. This is the way of it. I will pose you 3 riddles. There are 3 stones which you must choose to answer each riddle. If you are right, you will pass in safety. If you are wrong, commend your soul to God, for you will die here. Here is the first riddle. The drought lengthens, the corn withers in my field, and the witch curses me with a glance. What would you give me? This one will require me to have to use a walkthrough because these are pretty severe. Lapis, a gate, and jet. Lapis, gate, and jet. Okay. Lapis. We're tracing correct, brother. Choose now. You now 2 more. The second stone correct. Choose last stone for this riddle. Good. Here is the second riddle. You must ride upon a fiery horse through valleys filled with adders and seek the fate that awaits me. What should I take with me? Turquoise, jet, and sapphire. If we're choosing correct, brother, here's you now 2 more. The second stone correct. Choose your last stone for this riddle. Well done, brother. Here's the final riddle. In summer, my ice does not melt. The red eye becomes clear. Demons run when I raise my hand. What do I have? Quartz, quartz, sapphire, and jet. Just verify that it's where my ice does not melt. Quartz, sapphire, and jet. Quartz, sapphire, quartz. Which choice is correct, brother? Choose you now 2 more. Sapphire. The second stone correct. Choose your last stone for this riddle. And jet. Welcome in, brother. One of the few times we're having to use a walkthrough is mandatory in this game. Back when I was a little kid, I had to do all of that by hand. Over and over again. These cells are cold and sparsely furnished. These monks lead an aesthetic life. Seems to be used as a kitchen, but it is barren and uninviting as the rest of this dreary place. Doors now are locked. Once the prior lives here. As the monk within intoned the patient became wise not to disturb him. Monk stands guard over prisoners being tortured in this tower. This open court has only a well in the center. Perhaps this is where the monks practice fighting with the quarterstaff. Friar and other monks are in this refectory. There are spiral stairs leading upward in this tower. Leading upward in this tower. Let's go to the top. Top of the stairs there's a locked door with a small barred window. Through I see a small prison cell with no one inside. The desk and scrolls inside. This room set aside for study. Here's a scribe's desk. Nothing to the scribe's desk. No wonder monks go blind if they have no more light than this to work at night with at night. Herein is the most amazing account of the siege of Jerusalem. Christians, Greeks, and Syrians were joined in the assault. Count Raymond, Duke Godfrey, also Wilbert Count of Normandy, and Robert of Flanders were there. They built a siege tower of small pieces of wood. All that was to be had and bound it with leather thongs. They attacked with catapults and other contraptions, and daring soldiers launched stones and arrows from the siege tower. The Saracens within hurled from their slings torches and flaming brands, soaked in oil and fat, and thus many died upon both sides. By noon of the day dedicated to Venus, the walls were breached and taken. Franks and others poured in and pursued the Saracens so that the enemy were driven to take refuge inside the holy places. Within the Temple of Solomon, 10,000 Saracens were decapitated. Not a soul was spared, neither the women nor children. The squires and poor soldiers slit the bellies to search for jewels that had been swallowed, and burnt the bodies to thus search in the ashes for coins. After the massacre, the Crusaders sacked the homes and took whatever they found there, rich or poor. However, Count Raymond allowed Turks, Arabs, and some 500 dark Ethiopians who had taken refuge in the Temple of David to depart alive, after leaving all their money within the citadel. This is written by Geoffrey of Monmouth in his Historia Regum Britanniae. The scroll contains a piece of history written by Paulus Orosius in the 5th century. It deals with Visours, king of Egypt in 480 Anno Domini. Visours declared war upon the Scythians and sent an envoy with terms of submission. This only angered the Scythians. Thinking Visours both rich and stupid, the Scythians warned him to beware of the uncertainties of war. Then, to forestall the attack on them, they marched forth and attacked Visours. They drove Visours out of his own realm, but the Egyptian army forced them to retreat until they were too severely hampered by marches to continue their war. Thereupon the Scythians instead subdued Asia in war lasting 15 years. They were only forced to return to their homeland by the demand of their wives, who threatened that if they did not return, the women would have children by men of other tribes. The scroll tells of Amazons. These were wives whose husbands were killed in war. Deeply affected, they rose up and killed all the men who remained, so that all the women would be equally affected. They then turned and destroyed the enemy who had first slain their husbands. They burned off the right breast of the girl Tridon so that it would not be hampered in shooting the bow. The Amazons had 2 queens, Marpesia and Lepido, and they would draw lots to see who would go to war and who would remain to protect their home. The Amazons conquered most of Europe, took many cities in Asia and founded other cities and became rich with plunder. Such fear did they spread that at last Hercules came with 9 warships and assaulted them by surprise and massacred the 2 sister queens who ruled then, Antiope and Orithia. Pentelesia then became queen and fought heroically in the Trojan War. Thus reads the history of Paulus Orosius of the 5th century. This scroll describes the death of Attila, as written by Jordanes in the 6th century. Attila had an endless number of wives, as was the custom of his race. But the excess of his indulgences in women, combined with too much wine, caused him to fall asleep on his back, or upon a bloody flux, and his nose flowed into his throat and killed him. The people of his race mourned him with great clamor, and cut deep wounds into their faces so they would weep manly blood instead of tears. The women wept and wailed and cut their hair. So terrible was Attila that his death can only be counted a blessing. From the Vitellia Corelli written by Einhard in the 9th century is a description of the habits of Charlemagne, ruler of the Franks. It says that he was extremely temperate in partaking of food and drink, especially drink, and abhorred drunkenness, especially in himself or any of his family. He ate only 4 courses in his daily meal and most dearly loved hunted meat, roasted over a spit. During the meal, he would hear some sort of recital or entertainment of history and stories of ancient deeds. Often in summer, after a light meal of fruit, he would sleep for 2 or 3 hours, or he would wake 4 or 5 times during the night. He would admit friends, litigants, and other business and do other business even while dressing if the need was urgent. He knew many foreign tongues and was exceedingly skilled in Latin. He valued scholars and had many learned teachers, and studied also rhetoric and astronomy. He would fill his bed with tablets and notebooks, attempting to learn the art of writing, though he advanced not far in this, having started late in life. Here is a description of a palace in Constantinople called Magnora or Magna Orla, meaning the Great Court. The emperor's chair within this palace was so constructed that it could be raised to a great height, even onto the ceiling and lowered again. Before the seat was a tree made of gilded bronze, in whose branches were birds of gilded bronze, which would utter noises to match their species. Gigantic lions of gilded wood or bronze had tails that would lash the ground, jaws that opened to emit roars of quivering tongues. This was written by Leoprand in his Antipodosis in the 10th century. It is from an Anglo-Saxon manual of astronomy written about a century ago. It notes how the sea flows accordingly to the rising of the moon, and that a tree cut down during the full moon will be harder against worm-eating than those cut down under a new moon. It is not the stars that fire that falls from the sky, being fire which flies from heavenly bodies, for stars are fixed as God placed them in the firmament and cannot fall as long as this world endures. Yet the moon, sun, evening, and day star and 3 other stars are not fixed and moving their courses through the heavens. Septem planetae, these 7 are called. This is the description Marion gave me. I'll tuck it into my sleeve. Venatius Honoris Leminianus Fortunatus, taken from Opera Petrologia Latina in the 6th century. It is a poem entitled Curse on the Chef. Black-hearted wretch, all caked in smoke, face like a stew pot, smeared with soot, like your utensils filthy black. You 3-legged pot, you slimy pan. Don't deserve these verses, mine. I'll make a charcoal sketch instead. Your shameful likeness will call a pitch black-hearted man withal. And 'tis followed by Take It Easy, which reads as follows. About business and lawsuits on the Palatine. This festive table bids you dine and wine. Let din of law and wrangling cases rest. The day is joyous, to relax is best. The duties of the cellarer of a monastery are described. He must be intelligent, Mature of character, sober, have no greed, nor be lazy or insulting, nor boisterous. You do nothing without the abbot's orders, and do whatever he has ordered. You should not offend the brothers, and should answer with humility and reason any untoward request. You should care for children, guests, the sick, and poor, for by his treatment of them will he be weighed on the day of judgment. He is to look after the vessels and all sacred articles of the monastery. He is to give out equally and fairly the apportioned provisions to all brothers. This is written by Benedict of Nursia in the 6th century in his Regalia. Sulpicius Severus of the 5th century writes of the power of Saint Martin, who had gone to a pagan village and destroyed an ancient temple. He began to cut down a sacred pine tree, but the priests of the place objected. Saint Martin explained that it was not holy, but the boldest of them challenged him. He said, "If you have such faith in this God you worship, we will ourselves cut down this tree if you will allow yourself to be bound to the ground where it will fall, trusting only your God to save you." This Saint Martin allowed, and was made fast onto the ground, where the pagans thought no doubt could be that the tree would fall. As they cut, they cried out joyously, drawing the crowd. Saint Martin had no fear and waited patiently, with full faith in the Lord. As the tree fell crashing, he lifted up his hand, and the tree was driven back to fall in the opposite direction, nearly falling upon those who had cut it. Thus were the pagans dismayed, and the village brought under the salvation of God. Ugh. I hate such drivel myself. This doesn't make any sense to me. There is no notation of the writer of the scroll, yet seems to speak of the history of this very fortress, burned monastery. It speaks of the Ignis Fatuus, the Willowless, whose name means foolish fire. These, it says, are the spirits of the dead, those who have drowned in the Sphinx. Speaks also of the guardians of the gate, and names them thusly: Cogito, the thinker; Alicia, the malicious; Neptus, the foolish; Ocalis, the speaker; Eunice, the hungry; Hilaris, the jolly; and Deformus, the ugly. He ends with this: "You've touched the face of wisdom and the face of that which hungers. Then will the fool's tongue be loosened and the path made clear." There is notation of the writer on the scroll. It seems to be the history of Alright, so it's the same scroll. What about this one? William of Newbold reports this, and the story of William Angelicarum tells of a village at the mouth of the river, freed in the northern regions. A poor but very evil man was buried, but at night would leave his grave and walk again. At his side would run a pack of barking dogs. This sight and sound threw the people into great terror until he returned to his grave at dawn. Those unlucky caught would have their blood sucked by this creature. Elders consulted, having heard other tales. Thus they hired 10 bold young men to dig up the horrible corpse and chop it to pieces, then burn it. After it was destroyed, still a plague came and killed most of the people. It was said the plague came from the walking dead. I think that's everything. Oh, that's empty. Alright. Whilst I was reading all that, my alarm went off, so that basically means that is the end of this episode. We will be back again tomorrow with another episode of Conquests of the Longbow, the Legend of Robin Hood. Have a good one, folks, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!